spent my first 15 years trying to get out of the woods because I thought it was horrible. And I spent the next 20 years trying to get back. The truth of the matter is we need to be well-rounded individuals like our forefathers were.
And look at that. My music froze up. I was going to play my music, and it froze up. There it is.
No.
And now it works. It's always going to do that. You ever heard this song? You know this song, don't you, Chris?
I don't hear that song.
That's damn 50. That's an AI version of 50 Cent. Many Men.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Shit, yeah.
Oh, man. And that's it. Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Mountain Readiness Mondays. I'm your host, of course, T, and I'm tired. T tonight stands for tired because I stayed up all night. All night long, finishing the schedule. And I know it was long overdue. And I know y'all was like, man, T, we need to plan out our week. We're preppers. We got to plan and prepare. I get it. But it sucks. That's the only thing I can say about that. So tonight, our guest is, of course, an entrepreneur, a man of many hats, many talents, an author. Everyone already knows him. A connoisseur, a gentleman, a scholar, and of course, my good friend, partner, and the OG, the actual OG of Mountain Readiness.
Yeah,
Mr. Chris Weatherman.
Well, you're the OG. I'm the next OG.
I mean, that's still part of the OG family. You're there like from the get-go. Can you believe it has been 4 years?
Dude, I still remember the Facebook message Amber sent.
Yeah.
Like, I still remember that message to this day. And I was just like, hell yeah, what do you need from me? Like, let's do this,
4 freaking years. Like, literally, we're at the 4-year point. I mean, we're almost to May, and we got in contact with you in April 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't realize I was actually playing some of the archives, the first podcast, the first live that I did. Man, it was fucking horrible. I'll tell you that right now. We were on there. I mean, it's come a long ways. I'm not saying that it's great now, but it's come a long ways. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah,
the background.
The learning curve on this, once you get going, you're like, oh, we can do better, we can do better, we can do better. Yeah. And then you go back and look at some of that early stuff, you're just like, wow, so bad. You sucked. What was wrong with you? And I hate listening to myself, but Amber will walk in, of course, to the living room, and I'll be sitting there on my phone watching a live that I just did. And she's like, "Are you serious? You're that wrapped up in yourself?" I was like, "Well, I'm checking my audio, making sure. I'm pretty sure I said something retarded and gay, like somewhere in this live. I got to make sure I never do that again." So, but yeah. 4 years, bro. I can't believe 4 years has flown by this quick. Yeah, it don't seem like it was that long ago, man. Like it seems like it was recent.
Yeah.
But here we are. Yeah. Like you said, it's been 4 damn years.
4 freaking years.
So much has changed.
Oh my gosh. In the world, with our lives, with the world that we live in. I mean, it's topsy-turvy, crazy. I can't keep up with it. It's a complete whirlwind for me. It seems like one day bleeds into the next, I think. So
yeah. I'm a little focused on my other project too. It's eating up time and fucking money.
I left that part out. Fiber optic lane, on top of all those other hats.
Yeah. Try to keep this company alive. It's easy to make the money. I'm finding it extremely difficult to collect it. So
yes, you know, and I don't know. This is a crazy world. This crazy world. Speaking of crazy worlds, y'all, this episode is brought to you by the Sovereign Health Summit. Because the world is crazy and we need to make sure that we take care of our health. I need it. Everybody needs it. You need it. And if you can't be a part of it in person, remember, we live streaming it as well across the world. We're going to be pumping this. This is going to be a cool event, guys, too, man. We have got people flying in from Germany. We got people coming in from England. We have couples coming in from Australia because they cannot listen to Barbara O'Neill speak in Australia because Parliament. Yes. It is so bad there, so restricted that, of course, they took Barbara O'Neill. I had the pleasure of being on the live stream with the partner, Billy Bond, and Michael O'Neill, Barbara's husband. And he was talking about, he wrote a book called The Assassination of Barbara O'Neill, to where they just, you know, his whole point of that book was to expose how they literally just railroaded her for no reason other than helping people. They actually brought her in because she said that drinking raw milk was okay. And she said that applying baking soda topically. And they were going to, they were trying to burn her at the stake over those two things. I'm like, are you serious? The world that we live in, that I can go to the grocery store and flip over a box of cereal with a leprechaun on it, and that thing got more chemicals in it than you can shake a stick at. You worried about milk? So,
well, yeah, they are, because there is legitimately a war on food. You know, for the longest time, that was the conspiracy. We were all and it's crazy how it don't take more than 6 months, to some cases about 6 years, for all the things that we talk about, and they call us nutters and conspiracy theorists and all this stuff, that we find out it's true. And there's a legit war on food in this country. It is 100% real. And I don't know if it's for control or depopulation. That's honestly what I think they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But trying to make everybody so sick. They want fewer people on the planet.
I agree.
And trying to dictate what you can eat. You know, now everything you pick up in a grocery store, like I said a minute ago, you got to look at it and ask yourself, like, is this real food? Is this even real food?
I don't even think most of it is anymore. And they're getting so crazy with this engineered meat and all this kind of stuff. I just saw one fact. I wish I would have had it. I just thought of it, but I was watching a deal on they are engineering the eggs that are going to be on like the McMuffins and all this stuff at all your big chain fast food restaurants. Yeah. They are like seed oil mixed with all kinds of different glues and craziness.
The same shit make it poly foam, like the same thing that so you're eating a couch cushion, you know? Yeah. And the yolk, the yellow spot in there is literally painted on. I saw the same thing.
In what world is that okay? And still people will line up by the masses to buy that crap. You know, we've already, we're already going down the hole. We might as well just go all the way and see if YouTube will just kick it, because I get this notification every morning when I do a live. It says, we were not able to monetize your video. I don't give a shit. That's why I haven't monetized to begin with, because you never let it through anyway.
I've never made a penny off of YouTube. Never.
Nope.
I make a little bit of money off of Podbean. That's the only social platform I make, and it's not much money. I mean, it don't even buy half a tank of gas. So
it ain't even worth it. Hey, Miss Sean Tall is in the house. If y'all don't know who Sean Tall is, no, that's Patrick. Well, Patrick, everybody knows who Patrick is, but Sean Tall, she'll be doing some of that chicken processing along with my lovely wife, Amber. She said, we won't be serving that garbage at Mountain Readiness. That is correct. Them's real eggs come out of real chicken. No, so we got these fake eggs. And, since we already went down the rabbit hole, this whole, we still haven't seen anything more of the Epstein file stuff, who's on here.
Yeah.
We've seen all this, let's eat babies and drink blood and sodomize and molest little children and all this kind of stuff. And a lot of people started talking about, intertwined with all this, the whole, how is, 6 million burgers served a day and, how many cows do we have and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, the math ain't mathing. They're right.
Well, now the math does math actually on that one. If you sit down and if you know what an actual cow weighs and what the yield is, and it doesn't take as many as you think. Because you got to remember, most of those places are serving a 4-ounce burger, like McDonald's. Unless you get the quarter pounder, that's only 4 ounces. So a regular hamburger is less than that. So it's not as much meat as they think.
But that's only one restaurant. You have how many? And that's the thing is you're talking about 6 million served, but then you've got all the others, there's, I mean, I can't even count on both hands and feet and toes how many fast food restaurants that serve breakfast, and serve lunch, that serve burgers and meat. And now they're just coming right out and saying, oh yeah, there's, we got fake eggs and, this lab meat's going to be awesome. I was actually watching another documentary. I don't know if you saw this one. They're talking about how when they're engineering meat that they can't use, they are not using cells to do the engineering from animals. It's actually human cells. Did you see that?
No, I didn't catch that one.
So here's what, now Midwest Preparedness Project, what's going on, y'all? If you are in the Midwest and you can't make it to Mountain Readiness, make sure to check out. They're in Topeka, Kansas, the Midwest Preparedness Project. They've got Viking Tactical there. Those boys, Patrick and oh man, my mind went blank. We got Patrick and Spags. Patrick and Spags is going to be there running this thing. They've been doing this for like 20 years, y'all. 20 years, and they've never charged for a ticket. They have relied on their sponsors to cover the bills. So that's a group that we're going to be doing some work with in the future. They are good humans. That's the best way to put it. But anyway, we were talking about the meat thing. So the reason that they are using human cellular stuff is because they know more about human genetics than any other thing. So they're using the human cells, and they're getting them from like the liver and fetal tissue and all kinds of stuff when they're doing this lab meat, because they have such a great understanding of human genetics, which is also scary on top of it that, they've gotten that deep into it. So, but look, guys, we're going to talk about Mountain Readiness because it's right around the corner. We're going to talk about stuff that's going on with the man, Mr. Chris Weatherman, and whatever else that pops on the radar. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that button, do all those things. I see eyeballs out there, turn them into thumbs, and punch that like button, share it out so we can get demonetized some more. And yeah, because that's how it goes. Don't worry, y'all. I ain't making $1 off this thing.
That's right. That's right.
Not even close. In fact, it just cost me $450 for StreamYard. So another year, another year of paying to run my yap. If you have a question though, #angry, throw it up there. And we get to it. I see some starred stuff already up there. I'm
gonna answer the first one. And it's right over there on the computer. I'm working on it, book 13. So it's coming along, and hopefully I can get it done here soon. I'm just, today was shot. I didn't get to work on it today, and then tomorrow I got to go out and pull 1,300 feet of cable fiber underground, so we can get the other side of it hung in the air because it's holding us up. So I got to go out there and do that. So I don't know if I'll get to it tomorrow or not either, but I am working on it. It's over there. So. Trying to get it right. Man,
I'm in this world of still doing a little construction stuff, and I show up at a job and it's like, oh my gosh, you showed up. Here's 10 more jobs. I'm like, man, I really don't want them, to be completely honest. You showed up. But So now I did this house. I ripped the entire ceiling out. The whole ceiling was falling down. 1930s house, whole ceiling, no insulation in the attic. Ripping it all out. Oh yeah. Just it looked like the waves on an ocean. I mean, it's just stuff falling off. It's cracking, and it was the old drywall. Remember the old like 3 foot by 4 foot like gypsum board panels?
Yep.
And so this stuff is like concrete. I mean, it is hard. You can't pull a chunk off. You get like 2-inch square pieces. It just breaks into chunks. And so I rip all this out, and then, the electrician's waiting on them. They never show up. And then, so finally I hang the drywall, and the insulation guys just ghost her. So she's like, I can't go any further. I don't want to ruin brand new drywall that I just hung on the ceiling, 12 foot boards. So she's like, will you do the insulation? Man, it was 160 degrees up there. Ooh. Took me 2 days by myself, almost passed out, fell through my brand new drywall a couple times.
Oh God.
And so when all y'all is thinking like, man, T, he's doing good. No, T ain't. He's up in an attic trying not to pass out. So we getting there though. But Mountain Readiness, y'all. Who has not got their Mountain Readiness tickets that's in this chat? Is there anybody? Let's throw that up on where are you?
That's up.
We literally have sold out our chicken and sheep processing spots. And when I say sold out, they was free, y'all. So you can still watch. But this was hands-on. And that's how important the world of food is, I think, to be completely honest. So yeah, everybody jumped all over that. And we've got Billy and William Bond are going to be doing the whole Friday, the whole sheep processing thing, start to finish, from dispatch to cutting it all up and packaging it, the whole thing, start to finish. We're going to do it. And then on Saturday, Amber and Chantal will be doing chickens, start to finish, breaking them all down. Here's something that you guys need to do and think about too, is even if you can't raise chickens, y'all, if you learn how to break down chickens, you know how much cheaper it is to buy a whole chicken at the grocery store.
Yep.
Like you're talking about dollars, many dollars you can save. Yeah. Y'all going in there buying chicken tenders and breast meat, and you can just buy a whole chicken and break it all down yourself for about a third, a quarter to a third the price. You know that,
absolutely.
But if you don't know that, then you don't know that. So get over there and learn how to process, because at the minimum, you can go to the grocery store and do your thing and buy whole chickens and break them down. There's Mr. Chuck Peoples. What's going on, Chuck? Mr. Chuck's in the house from Homestead Medical. And good to see you in the chat, bro. Hope everything's going good. And Mr. Tripp, he's got his tickets right on. Hey, Tripp, did you hear when I had Byron on the show the other day that he's now got a basically an SBR that he's making? Black Armor Guns is.
Oh, nice.
I think he's going to be bringing one. It's considered, a pistol or whatever, but
Yeah.
But I may have to get one of them too. Don't tell Amber, guys. Let's keep that on the down low. So, but no, I was thinking too, guys, like, look, for anybody that could hear this, I was just sitting around. This is one of those conversations, them deep conversations you get into when it has to do with like moonshine and Alan Kay.
Yeah. I know well, actually. I know very well.
You know how those go?
Yeah.
And, and it was nothing, and I'm not dogging anybody here. I'm not even going to name any names, but man, I cannot count how many times, y'all, that I've got on the internet, YouTube, part of the world of social media, got to do this crap. It's a two-edged sword, but video after video after video, I'm learning how to, I'm rubbing sticks together. I'm making leather moccasins. I'm making leather pants. I'm, weaving a basket. And there is people that I see that they're just their whole life, that's all they're doing. Like all day, like, let's practice rubbing sticks. Let's make a friction fire. Let's make a bow drill fire. Let's make another fire. Let's make another fire. And I'm like, look, guys, that is great for a hobby, but it's called prioritizing. Wouldn't you agree, Chris? Like, let's be honest here. The closet right behind me, there is enough clothing in there that if the world ended right now, this goes blank, power's done, everything ceases to exist, I will never have to make a damn pair of moccasins, y'all. Ever. Yeah. Forever. I will never have to make clothing for myself. And I got enough Bic lighters that I probably would never have to do a friction fire in my entire life. Here's my question is do you have some damn food? Do you know how to grow food?
I've always referred to that stuff as lifeboat skills. Like, that's the lifeboat. Like, if everything else, my house burned down and the world ended on the same day and I had nothing, that's lifeboat skills. I got to resort to that. But like when Alan and I we're doing survival classes and stuff the past years, we call Primitive Fire Day Bic Lighter Appreciation Day. Like, that's literally what we call it, because you will learn to appreciate that Bic lighter after you spend 4 or 5 hours trying to create a primitive fire unsuccessfully.
Right.
Because it's not as easy as people think. And these guys that go out and do it all day, it's like, how many videos do you need to watch this being done? I mean, it's I don't understand it either. And as preppers, we've focused for so long on preparing, stacking it high and deep. And even Alan has always said, that's great for the short term after a calamity.
Yeah.
But in the long term, you've got to have sustainability. You've got to have food production. And because if you don't have it, if you've got 10 years worth of food piled up, that's great. But what do you eat in 10 years in one day?
Yeah.
You got to have a plan.
No, and I think that's what it is. I think priorities have gotten all ass backwards sideways, it seems like, into preparedness. A show comes on the boob tube the other day. I think it was last night. Yeah, it was last night it pops on, and I'm typing away, moving all the chess pieces on the board of Mountain Readiness Expo. It's like playing chess. It's like rook to pawn. Let's move this name here. Nope, that overlaps that. You just going. It's chess and checkers on a board when you're doing this hour for hour schedule. But the show is called Cheapskates. All right, and I'm like, all right, this is kind of funky. So they bring these people on, and they're just dogging the shit out of them. They're like, this guy here, the first one was this woman. This woman, like, literally is on her husband's backside and her kids, shut the lights off, turn the water off. Her husband's taking a long shower. She kills the water. I would have probably given her a little bit of a talking to on that one, but they give her a bunch of crap. She's out in the backyard. She serves supper, and everything is from food that she grew and foraged. Like everything. Shit's from scratch, forage, roots, this, that. Yeah. And I mean, it's a heck of a spread. And the whole family and everybody on the show is like, oh, this nutcase woman, this idiot. I mean, can't believe you just wouldn't go to the grocery store and just buy. And I'm like, man, this woman's got her shit together. This is what we should be striving for.
Well, and that's why they portray them as a nutcase, just like Doomsday Preppers used to try to portray the prepper community as a bunch of nutcases, because they don't want you to be competent and capable and self-reliant and self-resilient. They don't want that. That's the polar opposite of what they want. They need dependent, mindless followers and not independent, critical thinkers.
Oh yeah. So, no. And just on a side note, Doomsday Preppers, they were nutcases, but we won't get into who those folks are.
Yeah. I forget. I used to know the exact number. I think it was somewhere between like 9 and 12 people went to prison off of that.
Oh, did they? Good.
Oh, yeah. Nice. For doing the shit the producers egged them on to do.
Right.
Manufacturing explosives and setting them off and doing dumb shit like that. Like there was one episode. This lady had cats, and she's a crazy cat lady. But they did everything they could to try to convince her to butcher and eat one of her cats on the show. Like they tried. Yeah, that's.
I don't remember that one.
That never went public. I knew a lot of people in that. I knew a lot of people in those days in that realm, and because I was at an expo right before Alone happened, and actually when the Alone people came to me, I was in Texas at the expo, and the booth beside me had National Geographic Doomsday Prepper people in it, right beside my booth, of course. And for 3 days, they begged and begged and begged me to be on the show. And I finally told the little girl, I said, look, you got a better chance of seeing the face of God than ever getting me on your show. I said, so don't ask me again. And I turned around, the show promoter standing in front of me, and he's like, hey, there's some TV people here that want to talk to you. I went, tell them to get fucked. Like that. And this girl leans up behind me, she's like, hi. And I'm like, shit. And it ended up being Alone, but that one worked out. But yeah, it was just funny that they were right there the whole time begging me. I'm like, no, I see what you do to those people. You're not trying to promote this. You're trying to show everybody that does it is fringe and crazy. That's your entire goal. And I said, I'm not going to be a part of that. You know?
No, I think you went the right route. I think you went the right route with the Alone deal. And Doomsday Preppers definitely put a bad taste in everybody's mouth when it comes to preparedness. But here we are full circle, though. Like, man, I just cannot believe, and we've talked about this a couple times on the show, your show, my show, and is how much has changed in the past 20 years of what you can say and what's being said by politicians, influencers, and all this stuff, where 20 years ago, you would have been crucified. You would have been burned at the stake to talk about the Trilateral Commission or the New World Order or anything like that. Like you're like, what did you say, you piece of shit terrorist? Now it's just normal talk. I mean, I just threw a video up with RFK where that purple headed lady dogging raw milk, like, raw milk. Can't believe you're letting people drink raw milk. And I'm like, come on, man, that's the good stuff right there. But 20 years ago, they would have burned you at the stake for saying the stuff that everybody just openly, blatantly talking about.
Yeah, it's Committee of 300, all Trilateral, like you said, the WTO, all that stuff. And it's like they finally said, yeah, they all know, we're going to stop pretending, and I think part of it has to do with the rise of AI, to be honest with you, and because now you can discover so much so fast. And I think AI under its current paths is going to be extremely detrimental. It's going to do some incredible things to quality of life for a lot of people, but it's also going to destroy a lot of lives, and it can destroy all lives if it's not handled properly. But
man, I use it.
The gatekeepers.
No, I use it, and it's like, man, with where this technology is going, it's so advanced and this is just what we know of, just down to cell phone stuff. Like these cell phones freak me out. Like these things, I don't care what you're talking about. It's listening all the time. It's taking pictures all the time. It's following you. You can't turn the locations off on your phones anymore. You can, but it's still on. It's not really off. It just says it's off. And I'm like, man, I don't know about it. I don't know. Do you think that we've just maybe in the past 20 years, nothing's really changed? It's just that people have gotten so desensitized. I mean, where else can you be like, here's some people at Pizzagate and they're talking about raping kids and eating children.
That's just it. They don't care if we know that, I think, you remember the 90s, the Bo Griggs days, the militia days when that was hot and heavy, and the government was actually afraid. And the government was actually legitimately afraid. Well, they've lost any even fear of the American people. You look at what's his name? What's this? Damn it, I always forget this guy's name. Let me find this idiot real fast. I just want to point this out because of what he said. Let me just find him real quick. As soon as I say his name, you're gonna know who I'm talking about.
All right.
He was talking about the Democrats when they come back to power. Carville, James Carville. And what he said was, this is the Democratic plan. Okay, grant statehood to Washington D.C. and Puerto Rico so the Democrats can unlock 4 extra seats in the Senate. Pack the U.S. Supreme Court from 9 justices up to 13, adding another 4 left-wing justices to the court. reopen the U.S.-Mexico border and grant mass amnesty to every single alien currently inside the United States. His advice to Democrat politicians: don't run on it, don't talk about it, just do it. So that's the Democrat plan. Matthew Kane, what up, man? And these aren't people that want to represent. They don't even want to govern. These people want to rule. They want to establish themselves as the sitting ruling power over this country and therefore the world, because we are the last superpower. Recent events have demonstrated that the United States is the supreme. We are king shit on Third Island.
Yep.
We went into Venezuela and snatched Maduro right out of his bed. Venezuela was protected with Chinese S-300, S-400 air defense systems. So was Iran. So now everybody else that bought that stuff's looking around going, wait a minute, Yeah, you guys shot down an A-10 Warthog and you shot down an F-15. Out of how many thousands of sorties that were conducted over your airspace?
Yeah.
Russia has been revealed to be the paper tiger. It always was. But I remember growing up, distinctly remember genuine fear of Russia. That was real to us. But we found out what a laughing stock that is. It's going to take Russia probably 100 years to recover from this. They've lost.
I mean, how bad is it there, though? How bad has it gotten there?
Where, Russia?
As far as Russia is concerned.
Because
they still control a ton of all of the gas and power and everything that runs down into the UK and things like that.
Except that Ukraine's been blowing that shit up. That's what the media doesn't talk about. Is all of their Baltic Sea, Red Sea ports where the terminals where they load ships, all of those have been hit. All of the storage capacity is being hit. They're hitting all of the refineries. They're not hitting them once. They're hitting them multiple times. There are massive fires burning all across Russia right now where their oil storage facilities are burning to the ground. Iran's not selling oil to China right now, so that was $158 million a day that Iran was making off China because now they're blockaded. Russia can't sell oil because they can't move it. Iran will have to stop. They'll have to shut all their drills down or all their pumps down in like 3 or 4 days because they will have no more storage capacity anywhere in the country. They'll have nowhere else to put it because they can't move a gallon of the shit. Then we have Venezuela, which has one of the largest, still as yet, basically untapped fields. Not to mention what we have. We're developing another field up in the on the slope in Alaska. We're developing another field right now. We could be energy independent here. I don't know why fuel prices affect us because we don't buy. That's not where
there's my question is I remember before Trump got in this whole Alaskan pipeline chit chat thing, and now all of a sudden what happened to the Alaskan pipeline gig? Where did it go? We were going to tap this and we're going to be oil independent and screw everybody else in the world. Now all of a sudden we took Venezuela and all their stuff. And still I just paid $160 to fill that stupid truck up.
Oh yeah. Tell me about it. I'm running F550 bucket trucks all day long.
Oh yeah.
$5.80 a gallon for diesel fuel,
Oh yeah. Killing your pocket, taking your lunch money.
Bro.
Speaking of conspiracy theories, what if, think about this right here. So our last administration, of course, already, everybody says, election rigged and, they took it from Trump and da-da-da. But what if it was meant to happen and maybe Trump doesn't know about it? And Biden was brought in because he has all these ties to the Ukraine. And then all of a sudden the government, everybody's on board, save Ukraine, sending billions of dollars to foot their war with Russia to destroy all of that infrastructure to shut them down, not on the U.S. petrodollar. Now we've got the Iran thing. Venezuela's out of the way. Cuba's basically like, please don't mess us up. I often wonder are we just real big suckers? There's my conspiracy theory of the thing. I think this is all was set up from the get-go.
Well, Cuba, there's been some rumors in a few little of the darker corners of the internet that, and we had there was a jet that left Virginia today and flew to Cuba. That's operated by the FBI and DOJ. So somebody flew into Cuba today, and there are talks down there, and the Cubans are, they're putting out propaganda saying that they'll fight against us. It's hilarious because they've got water buffalo pulling mountain howitzers up hills because they don't have equipment to move equipment, and they're watching us disassemble Iran. What does Cuba actually think they could do if we decided we was going to kick that rock over? But there are legitimate talks in place, and there's some rumors that Cuba could very well be turned into another U.S. protectorate like Puerto Rico.
Right.
It may happen because Russia can do nothing to support Cuba now. It's pretty much over. China is in there pretty stout. And the only thing down there that's of major concern to us anymore is the listening station at Lara, or wherever, I think Lara, that the Russians and the Chinese are operating. So they do have that still down there, but that's it. The entire island was out of power until Trump allowed one oil tanker, I guess, to dock, and they got some fuel. But they don't stand a chance. And when you look at, I'm not saying Trump's smart or he even planned all this, but by knocking the dominoes over in the order he did with Venezuela first, captured that oil, then he took on Iran, he captured that oil, knowing Russia can't supply oil right now either. And it put the big squeeze on China. China's the one suffering the worst right now because they are a 100% net consumer of oil. They produce no oil whatsoever. So they got to buy every gallon that they need. And they're in a world of hurt. A lot of people don't follow China news and what's going on in China, but China's in a bad way. There's been a rash of industrial fires that are burning massive facilities to the ground. 15-acre factories that are burning to the ground. There's severe civil unrest in China right now on levels they haven't seen in a long time. Actually taking a hoe and chopping up the local politicians in the street, that level is happening. So,
that's what I'm saying. I think Trump is actually this guy that was put there because they can control him, and he doesn't even realize he's being controlled. Like, he's one of them guys that can get fired up, I feel like, and they can just direct him where they need him to go.
Well, I forget who I was talking to just a little while ago. I was just talking to somebody, and we were talking about an episode of a Sunday morning talk. It was my old buddy Tex Adams. Some of you guys know who he is. But me and Tex were talking, and years ago he was saying how he had watched a Sunday morning news show, and let me see, who was it? It was what's his name from Arizona? I just forgot his name. The Vietnam fighter pilot that was held prisoner, John McCain. There was John McCain and somebody else sitting on this show, and it was talking about Trump's first run. And McCain said on the show, on this Sunday morning news show, that if Trump got elected, it would destroy the New World Order. And I honestly believe, I don't think Trump is an insider that can be controlled really by anybody. I think he's a disruptor. He was the wild card that nobody expected. And I think his intentions are good, but I think that not that he's a super genius and he's 100% looking out for us, because he's not. With a lot of shit he's doing, he's not. No. But I think his intentions are genuinely good, but he keeps finding out that the machine is way bigger and more powerful than he ever imagined.
Yeah. I'll agree with that. I think I don't think that anything he's doing is purposely to hurt the United States. I don't, but I think that there's a lot. I think he's finding out more than he's bit off more than what he could chew. He thought he had it under control. This whole Epstein file thing, I think that once he looked through that, he's like, oh shit, this is bad. Like, if I drop these names out here, game over. And it probably would. You would probably see the U.S. implode if we saw, and maybe not. Maybe we wouldn't. I don't know.
People might, they're so desensitized to it. Now, that's the other reason that it was, I think it was drug on for so long, was to desensitize people to it. Yeah. And they are anymore. Anonymous came out and said that they were going to release the names actually they were going to release all the unredacted files if DOJ didn't. and then even Anonymous didn't release them. Like that's a pretty powerful walk back for Anonymous, because they've done some pretty epic things in the past, and to not follow through on that one, that's a little strange, And somebody asked, like, so who runs the world, or who is the machine? Sandwich there. The Committee of 300. That's the machine. Look that up.
There you go.
The
Build-A-Burger.
The Build-A-Burgers ain't got shit on the Committee of 300. It's entirely different.
Well,
it's 300 families.
Those families, though, that's one of their meeting places.
They'll go up to Bohemian Grove and stuff like that, but they're even above them. I mean, they make the Rockefellers look like pikers. Yeah. Like they really do. There's so much money. And it's not even money. It's power and control and access and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's old money. It's way old money. It's people that's been around for centuries that have been in this realm forever, controlling everything. And they're the guys and the gals that move all the puzzle pieces around to make stuff happen.
Yeah, and instigate all the stuff that happens. And Beth over here, she's like, machine probably equals deep state, military industrial complex, WMF, IMF, Committee of 300, Bilderbergers. You left the CIA off the list. That's the Leviathan. that's the enforcement mechanism.
Right.
And see that the same reason that McCain and that the like at the left in this country genuinely hates Trump is the same reason that the world hates Putin. Because Putin's not going along with this new world order and this new agenda. No. With the alphabet people getting their way and Muslim immigrants coming in and taking over your country. He's not allowing any of that in Russia. No. He is staunchly against it. He is far more conservative than we ever dreamed of being. And that's why they don't like him. That's why Victoria Nuland and John McCain went to Ukraine in 2014 and started the war that's still going on today. We started that war. The Ukrainian government was going to do a natural gas deal with Russia because it was favorable terms. It was better terms for Ukraine. We said, no, you got to buy it from Europe. And when the president said no, we had him overthrown, had him replaced with someone who would buy from Europe. And then one of the very first things that the new president did was to pass a law making it illegal to speak Russian in Ukraine. Eastern Ukraine are ethnic Russians. That was their native tongue. That would be like, somebody getting elected here in our country that we weren't fans of, and because they were a Hispanic American, passing a bill that says it's illegal to speak English in the United States. You can only speak Spanish. Yeah. What would we do? We'd do the same thing. So I don't necessarily blame Russia for doing it. I think they should have pulled out a long time ago and given up because Jesus, they're paying the price. But
I've talked to a few people who said that whole war in Ukraine has been pretty much so all AI driven, and it is so scary. Putin and Russia has pretty much so said that they were 3 steps ahead of them on everything that they do. They just can't fight it.
The Russians are still relying on 1970s doctrine. Last month, Ukraine killed over 35,000 Russian soldiers with drones alone.
Good grief.
35. I think of it, just wrap your head around that. In 1 month, the Russians lost 35,000 soldiers. We lost 50-odd thousand in Vietnam over 10 years. We get 2 or 3 of our service members die anywhere on the planet for any given reason. And the American people are up in arms over that. Soldiers die. Could you imagine that now? I think the total number for Russia right now is somewhere around 1.3 million killed in Ukraine.
Wow.
That is multiple generations of young men.
Oh yeah.
That are no longer there. They're killing off their labor force. They're killing off their reproductive force. And the guys that are coming back, like you were saying, are so traumatized by the environment they were forced to fight in.
Yeah.
I've been around some Ukrainian guys that were over here to do some training, and someone flew a drone over, and these guys shit themselves. They freaked out. They immediately freaked out. There was no pretending. There was no playing. They were terrified of that sound. And those are Ukrainians. I can only imagine how the Russian soldiers feel.
Well, and that's the thing is the mind part of a fight is the biggest thing. Being in the ring over 52 times, I had 53 fights, and when you mentally check out, that's when you lose, right? And it's that there is a harder blow than getting punched in the face. Is that being scared? And so how many times can you lose over and over again before you mentally check out? That's where the Russians are right now, I think.
Oh, they're absolutely there. And their armor inventory is gone. Russia's goal by the end of 2027 is to be able to produce, I think, 458 tanks a month. They're losing more than that a month right now. They don't have hardly any tanks left. They're bringing T-55s out now, which are 1950s era tanks.
Yeah, old.
And trying to employ them. They don't have the armor. It's gone so far, in fact, that the Russians keep their armor about 20 kilometers behind the front line. They won't even send it in, because if they do, Ukrainian FPV and strike drones can hit them, and they will immediately.
They've had $600 billion, and that's just what we know about. That was pumped over there to help fund all that. And at the same time, like you just said, blowing up all their infrastructure and shutting them down at every single end. I'll tell you, I think that Russia, Iran, I think North Korea is going to be one coming up next on the radar, because they're one that is they're not on board with the U.S. petrodollar. I think they have to take these people out to get us on that one world currency. I actually have a good friend, Ash. I grew up with him. Professional cowboy. I think I've talked about this before, but he was in Horse and Saddle magazine. After we kind of in our teens, I went one direction. He ended up going out west, Montana, Wyoming. He lives in Wyoming right now, but he was, professional cowboy, dude ranch, herding cattle, literally on, 600,000 acres. It took him a couple months to move cattle from one side to the other. And he was approached by the Russian government. The Russian government was like, hey, look, we're tired of paying $60 for a steak because we don't raise our own beef cattle. So they brought all these American cowboys over and had them teach them how to raise their own beef cattle. And so he was over there with his wife. And this has been about 12 years ago. He was over there with his wife and three kids. And he said if he could have moved to Russia, he would have went and never come back. He said it was the most amazing place he's ever been. He said, you walk down the street, if someone spits on the sidewalk, they will beat you half to death and throw you in prison. Like you keep it clean. He said he would be driving along these roads. He lived, it was only a few hours outside of Moscow. And, but he was sent over there, 6 figures, a house, a vehicle, all of his food. His kids had translators and, teachers. So they were learning how to speak Russian, teaching them Russian, school at their home. I mean, literally they had to do nothing. And he said he would just be like driving along, and the roads are rough when you get outside the cities. And he said that people would just come out in front of his truck and make him stop and come into their home and eat. And it was a huge disrespect if you told him no. He said just complete strangers. He said you just be driving along, all of a sudden people would make him come into their house. They would feed him. He had no idea half of what they were saying. And then back to his truck and go on his way. And he said this was for almost 4 years he did this. He said it was the most amazing place that he's ever been. And of course, they sent him home after, it was about 3.5 years. Made great money. He went back to Wyoming, bought a ranch out there, still out there to this day. But he said if he could move there, he would move to Russia. He would leave the United States right now. He said it was that great.
Yeah, there's a YouTube channel, a great YouTube channel called Survival Russia, and the guy that runs it, I think he's a Swede that immigrated to Russia, but he lives like up in the kind of the boreal forest area, and he does crazy stuff. And I like watching the guy because he's us. He's just one of us. He just happens to live in Russia. But earlier, you mentioned North Korea and about having to take them out. Kim Jong-un did something very interesting recently. He had the word socialism removed from every appearance, everywhere it appeared in the North Korean Constitution. He had the word struck.
No kidding.
There's some talk that, you know, he's one of those guys who's looking around and being like, these nukes are the only thing keeping us alive.
Right.
If we didn't have nukes, they would come take us out. And he understands that. But I watch, I do a lot of research on Korean defectors and stuff, and I watch a lot of the stuff they put out, and how a lot of their missiles are just like the Chinese nukes are fueled with water because the fuel was siphoned off and sold and shit like that. And how they're not nearly as ready as they pretend to be.
No kidding.
But that's interesting that he had socialism taken completely out of the North Korean Constitution. So,
you know, we've got a couple. Let's see what the comments got up here. Let's see. I'm not sure. Let's see. I mean, it was a penal colony.
Talking about Australia. Yeah.
Yep. So there you have it. That's how that went. Let's see here. My bet is 8:28 Eastern time for the silver. What do you think? You know what? You brought it up, but I'm just going to say silver, Mycronic silver. By the way, Mycronic silver, Jeff Adams will be at Mountain Readiness talking about building natural immunity. And I will attest that since I have been using Mycronic silver nasal spray, and there you have it right here, guys. Scan that code at checkout, put Robert Toombs, all capital. You get 10% off just for doing that. Just throwing my name up there. But since I've been using this nasal spray, I have not gotten sick. Not once for over like 3 months. Been around all kinds of sick people. Nothing. Just knocks it out. Amber was getting sick. And I said, here, use this nose spray. Bam. Next day, fine. You know, and of course she was in public all the time, you know, with her last job, which now she's a professional chicken raiser, a chicken rancher,
chicken wrangler,
a chicken wrangler. But yeah, y'all get that Mycronic silver and then go see that class with Jeff. But what else we got here? Let's talk about vendors and food trucks. Got a few food trucks. We're going to have great breakfast being served. We've got a new food. We got hibachi. Hibachi Heaven's going to be there again, but I've got this Mr. People feeder. They were at that last Fallout. They were back there, the ones doing the Ren Ferry stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see what they're about. Everybody says they're good. And then for all y'all that don't care about your midsection, Mason Sweet Shop will be back, of course, with the awesome shakes and sundaes that have like full course meals that stuffed down into the top of them. They are. Did you see them things, man? Did you even go over there? Dude, it's like a half a tray of brownie that's shoved down in it.
Yeah, that's too much for me. I cannot do that.
I eat it all. I eat everything.
I eat it all. I can't do it. Have you ever heard of the YouTube channel Diary of a CEO or Journal of a CEO? I think it's Diary CEO. It's a young. You should look it up. He had an episode come out today. Now it's like 2.5 hours long, but
okay.
Within the next 10 years. And this is legit research, and it goes back to things called MNNs and some other stuff. They're going to have the ability to reverse aging, like 20 years. Like you and I would be able to take this new drug that's being developed, and it's real, it's legit, and it's even it's not even like complete petrochemical thing. It's they found the process out really, but it would reverse age us. About 20 years.
Wow.
Like that's right around the corner, which coincides with the rise of AI. And imagine where we will be in 20 years with AI.
Well, I'm sure AI is what they're using to do a bunch of the research and, you know, to develop this stuff. I mean, I think people are running AI for, I mean, that's how we just, I bet you our technology in the past just year has just about doubled. AI is doing everything.
It's making discoveries. It's discovering alloys that we never dreamed of. It's found a way to a different method of building aircraft that would reduce their weight by 30%.
Wow.
And it would save an average of 293 pounds of jet fuel per trip. And it reduces like production costs and all this stuff. There was a new alloy that was just discovered by AI, and I don't remember which product it was, but AI invented something else, and the AI company tried to have the AI patent it in the AI's name. Unfortunately, everybody was like, no, that's going a little far. We're not going to have AI owning stuff yet.
Right.
But you're working with AI right now. I use 3 different AIs. I asked one, Claude, to not Claude, but Claw, like Claw. I asked him to do an area study for me. And
no kidding. I didn't even think about that. That's a great idea.
Well, so I asked him to do an area study for me, and I gave it very detailed information about what I wanted in my area study. And so I'm just sitting there working on the book, and it's on another screen over here, and I'm watching it, and I can see it's thinking and it's going through stuff, and it ran for like 40 minutes. And then it stopped, and it came up, this big thing popped up. And the first thing it says,
screwed.
It says, no, it says, I cannot and will not complete this task.
What?
Basically, it said that I was planning a terrorist attack. And that kind of information was, this long thing. And so I was like, okay. I'm like, well, you remember, I told you I'm a fiction author. And this is for a fictional story, but utilizing real places and things. And it went, I owe you an apology. I jumped to a conclusion. I'm sorry about that. I'll finish preparing this, basically. So they have a guardrail to watch for stuff like that. But then that was all I had to do to get around the guardrail. It gave me a map. Like, it produced a map of exactly what I wanted, all laid out. I loaded 12 books into one AI, all the manuscripts.
Right.
And then said, hey, generate me a character list. I want to know what book they show up in and a short bio. And like that, I had a 13-page document, professional looking document too. This thing, it's just fantastic.
Mind-blowing.
But it's also terrifying. To me.
Very. Now, we were talking about health, and I know Beth was saying about, she just said venture capitalists already chip implants for anti-aging. Here's something I want you guys to take a look at. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Dr. Group. You ever heard of Dr. Group? Look him up. He's all over the internet, but he's heavily censored. So Dr. Group has done a lot of research in stem cell stuff. Dude's amazing. He's part of like the Sovereign Health Summit thing. Like, all these guys all work together. Dr. Group, Dr. Ely, Dr. Merritt, Jonathan Otto, all these guys at the health summits and stuff, they're always together. And he has been, this is going to blow your mind, but start watching some of the stuff. He has been messing around, and he said this is old, ancient technology, ancient knowledge that they didn't want you to know about, but stem cells via your own urine. Have you ever heard about this? Mind blowing, guys. Now I can't talk too much because all of a sudden this feed will get killed and all kinds of stupidity. I'm gonna tell you. You mentioned Dr. Group and stem cells, man. You're already on the gray area of the YouTube gods. But look him up and take a look, because evidently our bodies have the capability to produce millions and billions of stem cells via what has always been told to us is it's waste. Don't drink your urine, don't use it, but you notice how, somebody gets stung from the jellyfish in the ocean, pee on it, all that kind of stuff. Well, come to find out, your urine, as it's been set away, as after about a week or so, it will go from a few stem cells that are in your urine to billions of stem cells growing in your own urine.
That might be what the Philosopher's Stone was always about. The Philosopher's Stone was like the key to immortal life, and it was produced with urine. That's you kept pouring urine into a pot, and you kept it boiling, and this took months to do, and that there was something to that Philosopher's Stone, that whole thing. So, because that goes way back to medieval times, when they were doing that.
Well, check out and let's see here. You can Google the studies. You must ferment it though. Yes, and I think that's the whole point. Is as it ferments, is the stem cells just you end up millions and millions and millions of stem cells. Now it's a little funky about how he says to use it. I'm just going to leave it at that. But I actually know people who are utilizing this stuff now. They said it's done amazing things for them, and I'm like, you know what? I mean, I could shave a couple years off. That's for damn sure. So check them out. Dr. Group, and a lot of the people that are going to be at the Sovereign Health Summit will be talking into these realms as well, guys. So, T have produced stem cells in our hip, like crest, excrete via urine. Stem cells can be pulled from bone versus fat. There you go. Well, Dr. Group has some great studies on that. He's been doing it for years, and they have been trying to censor him for all that stuff. Another one to pay attention to is Dr. Jack Cruz. If you get a chance to watch anything of Dr. Jack Cruz, he's actually living over in South America now because he said, I'm done with the spraying, getting sprayed in the skies. He's the guy that was one of the top brain surgeons. Billy Bond just come back. He actually did an interview with him right there in South America. It was awesome. But he actually was the guy who says that, red light, or actually sunlight, is the most important thing that you could ever have in your life. The whole cancer thing has nothing to do with it. It's actually all the crap that you're rubbing on your skin to block the sun that's gonna take you out. And he said if he could change one thing that he did with brain surgeries, and mind you, this guy was one of the only brain surgeons, one of the only neurosurgeons he brought a girl in that had been attacked, and the guy beat her head in with like a hammer. Like the whole side of her head was just collapsed. And they told him, they're like, don't even mess with this, man. Like, she's done. Like, even if you get her back together and she lives, she'll be permanently disabled, because of this. He says, nah, bullshit. We're going to do this. So he just does it. He takes this girl, and he's in surgery for, I think, over 20 hours straight. Jesus. Working and putting this girl's head back together. Ended up, he was invited to when she graduated college. She's living a normal life. And, but the guy said if he could change one thing about surgery, that's how good he was, or still is. He said that he would move all of his patients outside in the sunlight while he was performing brain surgery. He said it's that important. And that's why if you look when they are doing surgeries on your brain, they have a red light on. You talk about red light therapy. Red light therapy is the closest thing to real sunlight you can artificially produce. And that's why you see that red light therapy being utilized in neurosurgery. So he said if it was up to him, he would roll them outside in the sunlight. And if you look back at the old pictures of the medical wards, they had your linens that you would be wrapped in, and you would be put out onto the sun deck to heal. They would literally roll you outside of the hospital into the sun in your linen.
Real linen. People don't understand that. The frequency that linen has versus the frequency of cotton. The frequencies are a real thing. Like, the music we listen to is recorded at the wrong frequency. It's not a harmonic frequency for you.
Oh yeah, they raised it. Or they raised it an octave. I wanted to say they actually. Yeah, it was either one way or the other.
Yeah. I think they dropped it, but I think 432 hertz is where you want it to be, and it's at like 200 and something.
Yeah, they took it away,
and all that stuff affects you, and and you don't have no idea. And I remember. Robert Sage, actually, and it was a retired Delta guy that we started talking to me. He's like, I don't listen to music. I don't do this. I don't do that. I was like, what? And we started talking about it. And I did a little look, and I was like, oh, shit, he's actually right.
Nailed it. We actually, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm looking for trying to find a better price on linen clothing because it is a fact, guys and gals. The clothing, look, if you're poor like I am, cotton, 100% cotton is what you need to shoot for. When you start mixing fibers, you're not only introducing nasty chemicals into your skin and into your body. And everybody doesn't understand, when you're sweating, the skin is the largest organ of the body, is your skin. And so when you're sweating, you're wearing those spandex, ladies, maybe it looks good on you. However, all those forever chemicals are just killing everything of your hormone levels. Just
like Gore-Tex. Gore-Tex is putting on a suit of absolute poison. Long-lived chemicals that severely damage the body.
Yes.
And everybody laughs at Russia because they're still wearing their Gorka stuff, which is waxed canvas, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
It's better for you than the Gore-Tex that we put on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Beth, we're all about it here. And that's why, if you guys look, if you can't come to the Sovereign Health Summit, you can get a online for cheap. You can get and watch that thing right there from the comfort of your home and rewind after it's all over and watch it again. But this is what we're going to be. We literally have Jonathan Otto there. Jonathan Otto will be there with, who of course has done a ton with the red light therapy thing. Dr. Lee Merritt, she's like one of the top spine surgeons. Of course, Barbara O'Neill is headlining it. AJ Richards from the farm, who's been fighting for food sovereignties in DC every other week. Got Pat Milicic, Doc Will Spencer. I mean, it's just a list of phenomenal speakers, and this is the stuff that you will be learning. I mean, what me and Chris have talked about here, guys, is just the tip of the iceberg.
It's just scratching the surface.
Like these people literally wrote the book on this stuff. I mean, they have dedicated their entire lives. And the only reason I know as much as I do is because we're putting on the Sovereign Health Summit. I'm actually getting to talk to these people. I'm like, this is blowing my mind. This frequency stuff, this fibers. We actually have, not only a grounding mat on our bed right now, but we also have our linens. It's a linen blanket and a linen sheet. Stupid expensive, but I will tell you this is a fact. Slept better than I ever did laying down in a linen bed with that grounding mat. Phenomenal. So I think it's those little things like that. But man, we blew through this hour, Chris.
Real quick, dude. This went fast.
real quick. 4 years in the making, bro.
4 years, yeah.
4 years,
and it, but that's not a bad run to go from where it started to where it is now. Like looking down the barrel of the Sovereign Health Summit, like that's a huge win, really, to be pulling that event off, man. That's like kudos, brother. You guys have done an amazing job. Like it really is.
Couldn't have done it without all of y'all, you and all these people out here in chit chat land and our instructors and stuff like that, because that's what it takes is community coming together. And that's how we all win. Like you always say, rising tide rises all ships. That's what we're doing right now. We're all going to benefit from this because we're a community, and that's what communities do. We help each other out. We back each other up. And y'all all need to be there in a couple weeks, actually 10 days, because we're going to be hanging out. And there's Mr. Tom Bryce.
There he is.
Great show. Appreciate you. There's the man. Tom is like if Tom ever needs another son, Tom's going to adopt me.
Two for Tom. Two for Tom.
That's it. 2 for Tom. Love you guys. Hey, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, brother. I really do.
Awesome to be here. It's been good to hang out with you, man. I enjoyed it.
No, for sure. We don't get to. It seems like I think that's what it is about true friendships. True friends. You may not talk all the time, but when you do, it's like you've been.
It's like you never stopped
forever.
Exactly. Yep.
So.
Absolutely.
Leave everybody with some words of wisdom, man, before we close this out.
Don't be black-pilled right now, guys. The world is changing faster now than it ever has. And I warned for years leading up to this, and a lot of you heard me say it. I said we're soon approaching the time to where the powers that be will have the ability to manufacture evidence against anybody they want to. That will be indistinguishable from reality, and we now live in that reality. Understand that that's happening. Be aware, use these technologies where they're useful and beneficial in your life, but don't become dependent on them. We've got to retain these skills like like T was saying, we got to get back to how people used to be, where they could do many different things. But you need to stay up on what's happening in the world just so you can be aware of the risks associated with them too. Would be the biggest thing I'd say right now.
Ma'am, I couldn't have said it better yourself. I'm not even going to add to it except for one thing. Chris and I love our lives. So if you hear about how we took ourselves out in a bathtub somewhere, you know it's bullshit.
I'm going round and round with some feds right now. Right now. Again.
So you guys already know we love our life. We are not unaliving ourselves. So if we come up happen to be unalived, you already know somebody look into somebody else. Somebody else did it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you here in a couple weeks, bro.
Me too, bro. I can't wait to get up there. I'm hoping I can stay longer, but with my current gig and requirements that I may not be able to hang out real long. But I'm going to be up there probably either Wednesday or Thursday before.
Sweet.
Try to be up there by Wednesday, and that way we can hang out a little bit, have a little downtime, help you set up some if you need to.
Absolutely.
And they'll be there for the end of it. Try to hang out for a day or so afterwards before we take off.
And look, guys, before we wrap this up, just know we have got live music Friday night. We got live music Saturday night. We've got raffle Saturday night. We've got hands-on chicken and sheep processing. We have tactical riflemen loaded down with tactical stuff. We've got homesteading classes. I mean, this is going to be a good weekend. I'm
Kyber optics, brush beater going to be there. The load of stuff, radios, optics, and drones, and
a ton. Oh yeah, them drones are pimp that he just got in stock.
Thermal drone. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that thermal drone is sick. And so brush beater is there. He's going to be doing all the things. And this time we're still doing the night drive. But Friday night, we're going to do a thermal, like an intro to thermo. So last time we were doing, did night vision. This time we're going to run the thermal side of it. And for you guys to realize how much you need thermal in your life. Let's just put it like that.
It is a game changer.
Man, it is a game changer. So packed full. Don't forget too, Texas Tony, come noon on Sunday. Texas Tony has a distilling class that he's putting on. It's like $25. Hey, look, it ain't just about tasting good in the world that we live in. You're talking about bartering. You're talking about medicinal and sanitation uses. For $25, you're going to get the whole rundown, how to do your own mash, how to set up the still, how to do all the things. I'm super excited about that. I've actually got one that I bought from Tony. I want to put together. Jax at noon is going to do a extended wild edible and tree walk. So there you go. Food right in your backyard. You learn what to look for because the grocery stores ain't getting any cheaper. Neither are the gas stations. And we're also rucking with the Mission Mules. We've got all the guerrilla medical guys are going to be out there. Rally Point, Wes, and all them dudes. We're going to do a whole rucksack walk around, probably 45 minutes to an hour. We're going to come back. We can drop all of our rucks, and we're going to have Alan Kay, Blackie Thomas, Brian Loftus, and Jax Janega, and we're going to go through. Here's what you really need in your bug out bag and your go bag. You need to jump on that too, Chris. Come up there to the table.
I'll be out there hanging out. Yeah, I'll go over and hang out.
Because you can't have too many people with that. I mean, guys, we got the knowledge of the ages when it comes to bug out bags. If you're wondering what you should have in your sack, this is the place to be. So
I'll tell you now, it's not nearly as much as you guys think. Every one of you is carrying too much shit.
Absolutely. I did that class with Alan 2 years ago, and at the end of that class, I probably threw away $500 worth of shit. Because I was like, well, don't even need this stuff. This was a waste of money and time and space.
Yeah.
So
just wait.
Beth, how are you not looking at all my social media? I make all these awesome videos for you, and you're like, where are the classes listed? It's all over. It's everywhere. Yeah. No, I'm just messing with you. It's on Facebook. It's on Instagram.
It's on my today, Beth. Don't let him lie to you. He finished that
last night. Last night I posted it this morning. And if you guys don't like if you guys don't like my creative schedule, you can actually go on mountainreadiness.com and it pops up the schedule, and then it actually does the whole written out schedule on the website too. No, I didn't do that. I had other people do that because that's not my wheelhouse. But now you can get the schedule where it's word for word on the website, or you can PDF download it, or you can print it. It's all right there on mountainreadiness.com. Pops right up as soon as you go to the website. So
there you go. Oh yeah, Mel will be excited. She gets the schedule early this year. So
that's it. 10 days out. I mean, 10 days is plenty of time for planning. I think last time I think it was 5 days out last May.
Yeah.
It was bad, but it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a blast. Well, I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for coming on here.
Thanks for having me, man. It's always a good time. Always.
Thanks for being a part of this 4 years in the making, and it's only going to get better.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. It's a good escape for us. We love to come and hang out with everybody and mix and mingle and do the things. So it's fantastic.
Gonna be awesome. Y'all out there in chat land, love you. Thanks for joining us. You won't see me on here again for about 4 weeks because I am covered up in setting up tents and all that stuff, and King Con and traveling and chickens and turkeys and goats. Oh my. So y'all know how this goes. Y'all stay safe, stay ready. We'll see you next time in 4 weeks. Holla.